Have you noticed that more and more young people are developing and scaling ideas and businesses like never before? In this talk, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why your next big client could in fact be a kid. When I use the word kid, I mean anywhere between the range of 3 years old and 25. Also, it's a little bit quicker than saying kids and young adults repeatedly. Did you know that the average age of a business owner in the United Kingdom is 40 years old? Did you also know that if you Google, what does a good business leader look like? You'll be told that it is someone who is so committed to their business that they're willing to invest every single second of their time and their energy towards building it. Do you think that's always the case? What we're taught about business people and the routes to innovation has rapidly become outdated. As a result of this, our misconceptions regarding business people or experience has led to seasoned professionals often missing out on tapping into new talent and sometimes more efficient and profitable ways of running their own organizations. So, let's look at reason 1. Your next big client could be a kid because kids have this fantastic curiosity. It leads them to ask the right questions in order to seek a satisfactory solution. If you have a niece, a nephew, a sibling, or any toddler in your life who has ever made you watch Peppa Pig, you know that kids love that question. Why? Why? They use this question in order to seek a satisfactory solution. Let me give you an example which will kind of explain why they could be your next client. When I was younger, I absolutely loved eggs. And when I was growing up in Zimbabwe, I was learning how to speak both English and Shona. And in my native language of Shona, Zai means egg. So, toddler Venandah was with her older cousin, and I remember asking her, "Please, Sissy, can I have a Zai?" And she said no. So I asked again, "Please, can I have a Zai?" And she said no. So I asked her one more time, "Please, can I have a Zai?" And she said no. And I remember thinking, okay, time to change tact. So I asked her why, and she told me it's not cooked. So I asked her why again, and she told me because she hasn't cooked it. And then eventually, after so much asking, she eventually agreed to cook me my egg. This was because of 2 reasons. The first being, I kept on asking that it got annoying enough that she had no choice but to find me the solution. The second is because she realized that if she didn't cook the egg, I was going to eat it raw. Why? Because one way or another, I was determined to find a way to get my egg. This little story is a short example of how kids have a fantastic way of pushing boundaries until they get what they want. They look at the world and think, why is this the way it is? Why can't it be something else? And why can't I get what I want? Over time, I became very good at asking questions, but not just asking why or how. I began asking questions with global solutions at the heart. I also developed an appreciation for how a good question and collaboration can lead to solid solutions that benefit not just myself, but the world around me. This ethos is not only shared by me, but it's also shown by other kids. Take Maya Pen, for example. At the age of 8 years old, she developed a fashion company that creates environmentally sustainable fashion accessories. Now, at the age of 19, Maya is now giving away 10% of all of her profits to environmentally friendly organizations and charities to make sure that the work doesn't just start and end with her. She looked at her impact and asked, what next? And also turned a small idea into sustainable business. This experience taught me that as kids, sometimes you have to understand that experience doesn't need to hold you back. You can make your own path, carve out your own niche, and it's okay to get it wrong, because that's where the best ideas and the best lessons are also learned. The second reason why your next big client could be a kid is because kids are generally free from the shackles of experience. They tend to approach life with an openness to risk, be it learning how to walk or trying new foods. They don't suddenly decide, you know what, this walking thing, it's not working for me. In fact, I'm just going to stay crawling. I can get from point A to point B without having to do this whole falling over thing. I'm tired of it. No. They keep going until they find a satisfactory solution and can walk or process their food in a way that's good for them. However, in adult life, we're often prescribed with linear processes of how to do things, when to do things, and what's the right way. Let me give you my example. Growing up, I always wanted to be a lawyer. And society and tradition tells us that if you want to be a lawyer, there's set steps that you have to go through. The first step is that you do your GCSEs and get fantastic grades. Then you do your A-levels or International Baccalaureate and get fantastic grades. Then you go to your dream university, do your right internships at the right time, then you secure your dream role at the firm of your dreams, and suddenly, there you go. You've stepped into life as an amazing lawyer. But that's not how it went for me. I did my GCSEs and got fantastic grades. Then I started studying the International Baccalaureate and also picked my dream uni. That dream university then offered me a place, and I could already see the different steps that society had laid out in front of me starting to make sense. Next thing I knew, it was results day. And that's when I learned that I missed out on my dream university by 1 point in every subject. And through that one missed point, the whole plan was out the window. I suddenly found myself at a crossroads, and I had two options. I either tried the formula again and hopefully it would work around the second time round, or I channel my inner kid and go with the flow. So I decided to channel my inner kid and I went with the flow. I went to a university, albeit a different one, and I had an amazing time. I finished with fantastic grades, but I didn't finish with my dream role set up. Instead, I finished with a dream work experience where I got the chance to work with young people in an amazing youth charity. I learned a lot of things in this coordinator role. I then went into business strategy and worked with some inspiring startups and SMEs who taught me that if you see solutions, make them happen. And if you see ideas, breathe life into them. Now, at age 22, I can say, I didn't do things the right way. Yes, I did my internships, but it was at the conventionally wrong time. I didn't go straight into my lawyer job, but I did so many other things that broadened up my mind and kept me thinking in that curious and childish way that I still cherish today. Oh, and also, I now find myself able to say that I'm a businesswoman and also stepping into my dream role as an amazing lawyer, hopefully. The final reason why your next big client could be a kid is because kids have not only grown up with technology, but they've developed an impressive ability to use it in order to shape their communities and also develop solutions. Let's take Instagram, for example. Instagram was invented in 2010 in order to be a digital photo album. Now, we're seeing more and more young people not just use this as an album, but they're using Instagram as a tool for change. We've seen more and more people not just showcase themselves, but they're showcasing their businesses and launching their initiatives on the platform. We've also seen people turn their own selves and their own personal brands into glowing businesses, all by the power of one thing that was created to be a digital photo album. But it doesn't stop there. Kids don't only excel with technology when it comes to visual aesthetics, but they also excel when it comes to technical ability and strategic thinking. Let's take esports, for example. For those of you that don't know what esports is a form of competition where people playing video games are organized into multiplayer competitions. Over time, we've seen this industry growing, and it is literally booming. In fact, last year, a 16-year-old teen in America named Kyle was the first ever winner of Fortnite, which is a video game. And it wasn't just a video game win, no. He won this game at the World Cup for Fortnite. And as a result of winning, he left not just with a championship, but with $3 million in his bank account. Now, the same games that parents often scold their kids for playing are now the same games that are turning kids into global household names. But it doesn't stop there. Another example is George Mattis. George is the founder of Teal, and he sells commercial drones to different companies. His vision is to be able to lead with developing cutting-edge technology. These young people are an example of what it means to not just see a camera and think, okay, that's it, or to see an industry and think, I can't enter it. They're an example of how young people are using technology to show that I don't need all the experience in the world to create something special, and I can create a new industry or new ways of doing business even as a young kid. So, we've now had a look at how young people are using their global curiosity, lack of experience, and aptitude for technology in order to develop new and dynamic solutions. But I now want to invite you to consider a few things that you can be doing to make sure that you're not only looking at these kids and thinking, wow, but you're thinking about how you can engage with them, but also make the most of this bright talent. Let's take a quick look at the example of George and his commercial drones. At some point, George may consider seeking out the services of a marketing company or agency in order to make sure that sales don't only continue to do well, but that they boom. Another example is Fortnite star Kyle. He may need the assistance of an accountant and a manager to make sure that his 3 million winnings are well spent and that he is in the right eyes of new competitions and new ways of increasing revenue. Kyle may also look to seek out the services of a design company in order to make sure that he is creating merch and catering to his growing fan base. Both of these examples will definitely at some point need the assistance of a lawyer just to make sure that their paperwork and ideas are well protected. These are just some brief examples of how a lot of bright minds will at some point need the guidance and services of seasoned professionals. However, often enough, when seasoned professionals are looking to get their next client, they often go to networking events, business expos, and different environments that are often closed off to young people and therefore closed off to their bright ideas and potentially new clients. So, I want to leave you with one question. The next time you think about your next client or where you could get business next, ask yourself, problem solving has no age limit, so why should you? Thank you.